Practice, and today's our first day of double days, but the tempo of practice is not going to change dramatically. There are signs of progress. Sometimes you're in the midst of it, you don't recognize it, particularly as a position coach. But myself as a head football coach, we're pleased. We're going to start integrating some more game-like situations in practice. I think it's mindful. I've talked to our quarterbacks. We're going to have the shot clock up there to make sure they start looking and being mindful. Right now, they're in the process of setting all the other things, but, we've got to be able to make sure we snap the ball in a timely fashion. And so there'll be a lot of elements that we do to get ourselves. By no means are we game ready yet, but, that game's coming right around the corner, and we need to make sure we're playing well.
I saw that Connor Raines is back today. Is he seem to be okay?
Yeah, it wasn't anything we don't think major. There was not a concussion. So we went through that and made sure that was eliminated, and it was good to see him get out there and get some more reps. I think, our offensive line is, like we talked about, it's a work in progress. There's a lot of moving parts there, and right now I'd say of all the positions groups on the field that, is unsettled, that's it. And that's not a real sense of comfort as a head football coach, but we are where we're at, and we need to make progress from there, and those guys need to be on the field to be making progress.
I know you said yesterday, your ones are solid and the guys behind them have to improve. But are you starting to see any separation in any positions, whether it's quarterback or linebacker or anywhere? Are you starting to see some separation?
We are seeing separation. I think at quarterback, Tommy's doing some good things, and not to say that he's a solid number two, but right now he's slotted there. But I think Colby is he's managing our offense well. He's going through the progression reads from Coach Vegan. I think improving each day, and so we're pleased with that. I think our starting three linebackers are solid right now, and I think Blair Burns is doing some things well at the corner position as well. So the defensive line, even though we have 1 and 2s, you're going to see those guys almost play interchangeably during the course of a game, and so it's important. While there may be a separation between Mertens and Ron, they're going to play close to the same. I always equate defensive line almost like sumo wrestling. I mean, you expend so much energy, it's important to have a couple guys.
And you mentioned your linebackers. You meant Jordan and Devin as starters. I know there were Orrs by him, and I know those other guys will probably play.
And Mark is
and
done
Mark
well.
And Mark, right?
Yeah.
When you mentioned Jordan Stanton, what have you seen from him so far as a guy who led the team in tackles last year? Just kind of what does he do well for you?
Well, he's gaining a pretty good understanding of our defense, and it's complicated. The Tampa 2 for a linebacker is a very complicated position, and so making progress there.
I know that, with Uso and Chase will probably share time, and I know Chase is really his body's kind of transformed quite a bit, and he looks a little small to be in those, but he seems to still be giving you good. What does he do well, and are you still pleased with him? Because I know he had a good spring for you.
We did. We're pleased with his progress. You're right. He's light. Technically, he's making the most of his abilities inside. It's difficult for a guy that's under 270 pounds to play, every snap inside, and that's going to be a challenge for us. But we're pleased with his progress. We're also pleased with Uso. I mean, those two guys as a package have been good. They're making progress.
And then afternoon you go just in sweats, you said today?
Yeah, it's sweats. We call them spiders, but there's just kind of a foam deal. We're going to have team activities, but we'll also emphasize more kicking activities along with that this afternoon. Be an hour, 45-minute practice, and it's our first 2 days. And I can tell you the body of work that our players have done during the course of the summer has allowed us to continue to push through. And it was interesting, Coach Duvall saw how we practiced this spring and said, our preparation can't be just to get our guys ready for the first game. It's got to be to get them ready to be able to practice all those repetitions. And thus far, their foundation that they laid in the summer collectively as a team has really helped us, because we've not had a lot of guys fall out because of pulled hamstrings or groin pulls, and all those things typically are an indication of, okay, they're just not ready for this activity.